It would have been nice to get a camp, but it's all good, whatever. I went through camps and trained hard and fought like shit, and then 3 weeks later, after eating as much as I want, hanging out, not doing nothing, came in and whooped everybody's ass in the gym anyway, so see what happens. No one else wants to take fights with me until they start losing, and then they want to take a fight with me, because I'm always, anybody I fight, you fight me and you get a title shot, so, like the other night, because no one wants to fight me if they're doing good, so, there's no other real fighters in the game. Was they asking for me? They were asking for me. There's no other way. It's not no McGregor show. It's a fight that needed to happen. Because I'm the biggest fight. And they knew they were fighting me already. They were already training for me. They know what's up. But hey, don't trip. Maybe I was plotting back. You know? They were plotting at me. I might have been plotting back too. You never know. Whatever. It's whatever, man. Just gotta go in there and try to not get my head taken off and hopefully come out on top of this motherfucker. That camera. Cut that shit. I think you should beat everybody on your worst day anyway, so. But you can never be ready enough for a fight anyway. Might get murked. I don't care though, it's all good. Right. Or he might. I haven't heard nothing since that UFC 200 fight fell out. And it was like, it was kind of crazy for me. The wheels never stopped clicking, you know. I fought, and the very next day they were calling me saying I was fighting Conor again after the last fight. So it was never really a recovery or a hangout session. That's why I went to that UFC 200 press conference. They asked me, and I said, well, I'm going on vacation if this fight's not happening. Mm-hmm. Because it was really like fight camp started when I started training for the first fight, and it never ended. And they hit me up after that 200 a little while later, talking about UFC 202. Yeah, they hit me up about UFC 202. And I said, I didn't even answer. I said, all right, well, I wonder what's going to happen with that, you know. And then before you know it, I was like training, and then I hear all this Mayweather, McGregor shit, and I feel like that's just a big old publicity stunt to hide the fact that he got his ass whooped. So I'm sitting here like, okay. And then I see on the internet that Dana and them went to dinner the other day, right? That was all over the internet. And I was like, and I'm sitting back and I'm like, well, I guess I'm cut out of that whole deal. They're having a big old happy meeting about whatever. He must be fighting Mayweather. I didn't believe it, but that must be what's going on, right? And then they called me the next day, and they were like, or they called my management the next day and said, so are you in or not? And I'm like, what the fuck? Where the fuck is my where's my dinner? You know what I'm saying? Where's my special meeting? So they I think they started laughing with my management, and they're like, all right, we'll be down tomorrow at noon.
Oh wow!
And then they came out, yeah. So they came out and we had lunch down at Market Tavern, where in Stockton, this nice restaurant. Wanted to show somebody else that this isn't a bad place to live. There's nice places too. We went to lunch and we had a talk, and everything went how it did, and they went home. And I just basically told them what was up. I said, look, that was the biggest fight. That was the biggest fight they've had. That was the second biggest.
Yeah.
The second biggest on 10 days. And some people know, I mean, a lot of people know Conor McGregor is a big draw. But I know, and whether they want to say it or not, that I put bigger numbers than anybody too. They just haven't had me on pay-per-view. They've been putting me on Fox cards. And then any time I've been on a pay-per-view, I've been on a co-main event or something. So someone else is getting the credit for my numbers, but I know what's really going on. If you look at the Fox numbers that I've been on from the last however long, they stuck me on these Fox cards, and I was getting like 3 million, 5 million views on Fox, I believe. And so I believe I have had a lot to do with that draw, you know. And I think a lot of people know, and they know, but no one's going to say anything. So I said that was one of the biggest fights he ever had on 10 days' notice, and he's the biggest draw that you've ever had, and I just beat your biggest draw. So if you don't mind, I would like to be compensated better than I was the last time, or that they were trying to offer me, because I've said yes to this fight with Conor McGregor 6 times.
Yeah.
And I fought him one time and I won the one time I fought him, So you give me this up and down bullshit about whatever. And then they pulled the 200 card, and I was all for it when I shouldn't have been, because when the fuck have I ever got a rematch with anybody? I've lost plenty of fights that I've wanted rematches of, and I hardly lost. I really actually won most of them. I never got those rematches. And the people that I've tried to fight have been like, no way. I dodged a bullet on that one. They'll never want that fight again. And I ain't dodging no bullets. It's like I beat that guy, and I was like, I'll fight him again in UFC 200. And then they pulled out, and then the UFC he pulled out, and the UFC pulled out. I never think the fight. I don't think the fight was ever on. I think they were buying more time. I think that I think that it's all, and now they're talking about Mayweather shit. It's all a cover up, and it's all trying to hide the fact that he got his ass whooped, and that they want to buy more time to get better if we are going to fight. I think the Mayweather thing's a publicity stunt, and it's great for both of them. It's like they got the from boxing followers are going to start following Conor. The MMA followers are going to start following Floyd, and they're all benefiting out. No one's losing there, so they're going to keep the ball rolling, keep the publicity stunt going. But every day when I hear about this Mayweather shit, I'm getting phone calls about, am I going to take the fight or not? So I'm like, it seems like this is a pretty big deal. So can I get compensated for it? And they weren't the happiest about that, but they're not talking to me about it right now. So we're working on it, and I think things are gonna work out, get figured out. This is a new deal. This is a new fight. That was UFC 200. This is 202 now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've said yes to 200, and I wasn't happy about saying. I wasn't happy with my name. My. I was rushed into my last thing anyway. I'm like, why do I gotta fight this guy in 2 more months from now? Can I sit back and get more fun? Can I get built up a little by the UFC? Like Conor McGregor's an artificial like font. Like they push him and went everywhere. He didn't get where he's at from whooping all kinds of asses and shit. I'm where I'm at because I've been in fight after fight after fight. I didn't do no media. I didn't do no shit. How many times I've been on your show? Because you caught me slipping. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do no media. I'm where I'm at because strictly fighting. And now he's where he's at because the UFC like kicked his ass in gear and put him on a pedestal and blew him up. How come he was such a big deal when he beat Dennis Seaver? Fuck is Dennis Seaver? Is that guy even ranked? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. It'd be like, I'm like, I didn't get no props when I fought Roy McDonald, the #1 welterweight contender, and he couldn't finish me. I didn't get no props when I'm fighting Ben Henderson or who everybody. I just got a long lineup of everybody. Everybody I fought in the last 8 years has been in the top 5 to 10, ranked 5 to 10. So all my following is just from strictly ass whooping and talking some real shit. And this motherfucker's on top of the world because the UFC wanted his accent and a little Irish fan base, and they give him some push. So they did that for him. He got a little ahead of himself, and probably didn't realize that, and I did. And they want me to fight him at UFC 200 a week later or whatever, or a couple months later. I'm like, what about, can I sit back for a year and a half and fight Dennis Seaver and become the biggest draw and the biggest talk of the town? I don't think they wanted any of that. Instead, they started talking about Mayweather and McGregor, and he's the biggest. This is the new biggest thing. And I'm like, hold up, didn't he just get his ass whooped 2 months ago?
Yeah.
So I lose some bullshit decisions, and then they're like, all right, let's not talk about him for forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying is he's more loved. Like he's getting pushed. They created that monster. You know what I'm saying? They did that to him. He didn't. My shit's off of straight realness, and then he wanted to dodge all that press to do all this training for fights. I've been saying that for years. I'm like, I ain't got time for this. I'm in the ass whooping business, training to kill and be better than everybody, and everybody else is training to be a movie star. You know what I'm saying? And then nowadays I'm sitting here thinking like, fuck. Maybe I sit back and do some press and not fight so much. See how good that goes for me. See if I get as much love as that little Irishman gets. You know, it's like whatever. Because they're trying to put on a freak show fight too with Mayweather and him. They're talking, I run boxing and shit. I'm like, you just got boxed up. You didn't get tapped out. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get tapped out. He got beat up and shot. And I hear Mayweather saying he wins most of his fights by stand-up fights, fighting stand-up. And I'm like, not with me. He was losing the stand-up part, and he took a shot. That was a way out. So I just think it's all fake, phony, and people should recognize it. I'm not saying you need to recognize, because let's see that Mayweather. I call your bluff. Fight Mayweather, motherfucker. Let's see how good. You know what I'm saying? I'll be right here sitting back like, okay. And what's gonna happen? Mayweather's gonna fucking whoop his ass in a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna. And I keep hearing all the boxers. I'm big into boxing. I've been saying it for years. Like I grew up in boxing gyms just like I grew up in a jiu-jitsu gym. I've been in boxing gyms up at King's Boxing Gym in Oakland and Sacramento, Kickboxing Inc. and a bunch of high level boxing gyms I've been at since I was 16 years old. And I'm always like, these MMA fighters, they can't box, they can't punch, they can't they don't even train right. You know, they don't train like real boxers. They can't punch for shit. And now all the boxers are criticizing Conor, like, fucking Conor won't get embarrassed. It's like, yeah, he will get embarrassed. He will. And you're all right. But that's a real arrogant thing to say. And Conor's such a dumbass for talking this because he's down to go fight in a boxing match. Want to know something even more embarrassing is that if Floyd fought Conor in an MMA match, would be more embarrassing than if Conor fought Floyd in a boxing match.
For who?
No, I didn't mean to get on that topic. That's just a thought. You know what I'm saying?
Embarrassing.
Like you would get mounted like in a minute. Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
You get mounted and laughed at, and then slapped around and smile at the crowd and wave. There's no chance. Like, don't fucking give me that shit. I'm like, hey, I call your bluff. Fight that motherfucker then. I'll be right here. I'm the only one out of the three of us who could say that. I'll whip both of their asses in one night. Because Conor can't say that. Floyd definitely cannot say that. You know what I'm saying? You want a real fight, you fucking put me with one of those boxers, and I guarantee you I could beat them in boxing. At boxing, I'm the only one who's sparred with boxers on that high of a level. I've been sparred 4-month camp with Andre Ward, and been at King's Boxing Gym, and I sparred with Alan Sanchez, who's top ranked 147, 150. I forget what weight class, but he's the champion at 147, I think, and he walks around about 160. But I spar him for the fights. He's ranked like number 7 or 6 or 5 or some shit. I don't know his exact credential to boxing, so it's hard for me to keep up. But I'm the only one boxing people on that higher level in boxing. You know, I'm the guy out Sanchez I train with. He just trained all the way through Canelo through his fight camp for Khan. And these are the people I'm boxing with and sparring with, and you got this guy fucking bouncing around sparring with some clown from wherever over at Freddie Rush's gym. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that guy. You're flossing that guy. I'll beat that guy's ass too. And Conor should beat that guy's ass. That guy was on the internet talking shit on him the other day. I'm like, what kind of sparring partners you got? You're up here getting fucking danced around and that guy's talking shit about whatever. I'll show up to that guy's gym and beat his ass if I was Conor. I'm like, what? You're gonna fucking put me on blast about what? You don't know shit. Like, what gives you the right to talk shit, criticize if we're working together when I'll beat your ass for real? You know, like, don't even speak if I don't know. That's my thoughts. If I was him, I'd go down to that gym and whoop that guy's ass. I'd box him in the ring, whoop his ass, and then throw him down at the end. Give him a slap.